and who has done some amazing things in God's work. Brent, tell us all about your experience.
Thank you. First off, I want to just thank everyone that gave underwear and socks and was able to provide that for me to take down there. It was really a blessing for all the kids down there. We dropped it off in the capital of Nicaragua, and they take it from there and put it out through all the orphanages in Nicaragua. So it wasn't just for the orphanage that we were at. It helped everybody. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, the scariest part I thought was going to be, like, being there. It was going to be really scary. But actually, the scariest part was actually just flying there. Like, we had to take this little tiny 12-seater plane with a single propeller to get from their capital to this, like, city where we were staying. And that was, like, the scariest part of the entire trip. It scared the crap out of me. And then basically what we did is when we got there, we had a tour of where we were staying. We took a bus and went all over this town. I don't know if it's a city. It's way smaller than a city, but they call it one. And it's Puerto Cabezas, like it says up there. And we took a bus tour of the entire thing, so we just knew what was going on and where we were staying and all that stuff. And then we kind of had some downtime to recover from the trip and all that and hang out with the kids and meet all of them. And some of the leaders from the actual orphanage came over and introduced us to all the kids and stuff, because some of them don't speak English, some of them only speak Spanish. And some of the people like me on the trip didn't speak any Spanish, so I had to learn over that week. And then the day after that, we started doing all the missionary work that we were supposed to be doing there. And in the mornings, right after we'd eat, we'd go over and we'd paint. So we painted the entire orphanage, all their buildings and everything that they had over there. It was this really ugly kind of blue color, and we painted it all orange. So one ugly color to another. And then at about lunchtime, right after we had lunch, we went over to what's called the Feeding Center, which was a ministry built off of the church. And that's what this picture is right here, is me at the Feeding Center. And it was all these little kids from about 7 all the way down to little toddlers that couldn't even walk. And that was the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. It was 500 and some kids that we served every single day that walked for miles just to get this one meal. And, I mean, it wasn't a big meal either. It was a little Tupperware, like, container that they get. And they'd bring any container that they had or a plate with a little cup. And they'd get 1 cup of, they had milk some days and, like, Gatorade and just something like that that's besides water. And then they had, I think we gave them 2 scoops of rice, 1 scoop of something else, and, like, a piece of bread. And that was all they got to eat for the entire day. And some of them only got, like, a few handfuls of it because they had to take that home and feed their family. So they'd come, get some food, take a few bites, and then leave and take all that food to their family. And that was just one of the most amazing, heartbreaking experiences that I've ever had. And all these kids are, even though they have nothing, they are extremely happy. Like, they always have a smile on their face. They're always trying to get you to play with them. And we didn't have to, like, break any barriers to, like, be with them, you know? Like, they weren't just sitting there and we'd have to go and talk with them. And, like, here in America, you see somebody and you have to, like, kind of get through to them, you know, before you actually do anything. These kids, as soon as we showed up, they wanted us to run around with them, chase them around. And even though we couldn't even speak to them, because they didn't even speak Spanish, they spoke what's called mosquito. So it was a whole different language. So they didn't understand anything we were saying, and we didn't understand anything that they were saying to us. But still, we were able to have fun and play with them and let them know that they're loved. And what happened to me, actually, that really touched me is when I was there, I think it was the second day we were at the feeding center. One of the kids there that I was playing with the first day, he was really, really little. I think he was either 3 or 4. And all these kids were piling on top of me because I gave one a piggyback ride, and then they all wanted piggyback rides. So I had to, like, sit down to give myself a break, and then they just, like, jabbed their fingers in me and, like, tickled me and stuff until I got back up, and then they were flying off tables on top of me. And one of the kids stood there looking up at me like this and with his hands raised and was like, "Papa." And that just really touched me that we're making a difference in these kids' lives, that we're giving them the love that they don't get. And a lot of the men in Nicaragua don't interact with the kids because it's like a culture there that they don't do anything with the kids. So for us to be there and play with the kids and just let them know that they're loved, it was really, really great for them to just know that people are there for them like that. And yeah, it was a really amazing experience. And if you guys want to help, you can go to orphannetwork.org, and there are actually some kids from the orphanage that need sponsors right now. So if that's something you are willing to do, then it would be a great opportunity to go there and sponsor one of these little kids. Thank you.
So, Brent, how did you do without Twittering, tweeting, Facebooking, YouTubing, and whatever? You did fine? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that, and that's awesome that we were able to support this young man to do this. What a privilege and an honor that is, and thank you so much. Okay, everybody stand up, please.